Can I ask you guys some tough questions? Some hard questions?
Yes,
Yeah.
Ben.
Earlier today, I filmed some scenes sitting in a chair by the water here to be the intro of this video, and after looking back, I'm completely scrapping them. They were somber, they were sad, and that's not what, I don't want to put that message on this video right away. It is an extremely difficult time, but this is a video that I've wanted to create for a really long time, and I didn't think that this would be the context for it. But here we are. In the early hours of this morning, I learned that my brother, dear friend, Austin Allen-Carrothers, committed suicide. He took his life. Now I'm sure most people watching this are friends and family, and you already know by now, by the time this video comes out, you know what he meant, and you know how much he was loved. Yet, at this time I have a secret that only a handful of people very close to me know about. Most people know me as an overly outgoing, positive, enthusiastic, sometimes just outright ridiculous human being who travels this world and always has an infectious smile on his face. And I pride myself in being that human, being over the top and just passionate in everything I do. However, myself, the past few years, I've had my own battles with mental health, and I've came very close to committing suicide myself. I'm very grateful that the first few people I told about it have been in my corner and helping me through it. It's been a roller coaster. Now, what nobody knows, other than one human being that is no longer with us, is that at one point in my extremely lows, I confided in Austin, and we'd share back and forth experiences. Regardless of his own struggles, that kid was not only with me wholeheartedly throughout the whole time, he actually convinced me at one point last year to remove a rope from my room that I planned to hang myself with. A beautiful human being. I love you, kid. I always will. And I thank you for all the lives you've touched in your short time on this earth. Now, with that out of the way, I've been wanting to create a video for a really long time. I didn't think that this would be the context. I didn't think that it would take losing a brother to push me to create something like this. During my own experience, it was really difficult for me to tell those first few people that I was struggling with suicide. It's one of those unsurmountable things that it's hard to wrap your head around telling that first person. And what was really impactful for me is I felt like the more people I told, the easier it got to tell, and I eventually grew that to a handful of people instead of just one or two. And at the time, I had this idea that I should go around my own city in Canada and interview strangers on the street and ask them about their experience with suicide, their thoughts on suicide, or even just outright telling them that I was suicidal to see their reaction. And I have an overwhelming belief in my heart that people are inherently good and people inherently want to help. And it was supposed to be a collection of interviews put together that would put me out of my comfort zone, get me out of the house filming, which was very important at the time to keep moving and creating. And I thought that after asking about 100 strangers that I'd have this beautiful montage about suicide that would stay as this positive piece for anybody struggling themselves, or at least create conversation in action. Now, I find myself here in Greece. I have missed my ferry, and I'm stuck on this beautiful island but feel stuck so far away from home. And my only outlet is this push to create this video in Austin's honor. So I love you, brother. I don't know if I'm sure the video will not come out even close to how I imagine it, especially since the context and circumstance have changed. There's going to be a lot more challenges doing it here with a language barrier. In not my hometown, it's even more uncomfortable, but it'll be interesting to get the Greek perspective on suicide at least, and at least start a conversation. So this is the beginning of a lot more videos that I am planning on making to destigmatize suicide, to put mental health right near the forefront of my channel, and to create content that can have an impact while I travel. So I love you, brother. I thank you for everything you've done for me and every life you've touched. And this one's for you, Austin. This one's for you. Austin Allen-Carrothers. You're a beauty.
Alright, let me just frame this in. Hi, Mike.
Hi.
So, my question is, if a stranger told you they were having suicidal thoughts, what would you say to them? Somebody wanted to commit suicide.
Well, I'd have to ask them why they wanted to commit suicide.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then say, try to stop them, try to help them with the answer.
If a stranger were to tell you they were suicidal, having suicidal thoughts, wanted to take their life, what would you say to them?
I will try to make him change his mind.
Yeah. If somebody wanted to kill themselves, what would you say to them?
Something.
Yeah.
For the video.
Yeah.
Which later.
Later? Alright. Something really small. Would you to say to another stranger?
Where?
Yeah.
Wait, later.
Okay. Okay. What would you say to them?
Let's sit down and talk.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Sorry for the topic. There's no wrong answer here. What would you say to somebody who wanted to kill themselves?
Don't do it, my friends. Life is very good, very good. It's beautiful.
They're thinking. They have thoughts. Yeah.
Just thinking.
Yeah. So what?
He's not on the.
No. Just thoughts. What would you say? What would you tell them?
Tell him, come for a walk with me. To show you all the nice things that maybe you don't see.
That's beautiful.
Or you don't saw before, or you think you don't see.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you very much.
I'm here on the island of Amoros, walking around today talking to people about suicide and asking them simple questions to see the reaction of what they would do if a stranger told them they were having suicidal thoughts, what they would say to them. The reception here has been incredible. People are full of love and compassion, and although these are short clips, just kind of one-liners of people's initial reaction, just to start a conversation, after I click off the camera in most of these situations, it changes into a beautiful conversation. I'm currently sitting beside this motorcycle here. This motorcycle has a story that the locals have told me about. The owner of the motorcycle crashed and died, and the motorcycle sat here ever since. You can see it's kind of overgrown. This island's beautiful, and the way they respect death, acknowledge it, and openly talk about it is very heartwarming. And I'm very glad that of all the places to not be home for this event, I'm glad that I'm here and surrounded by beautiful people. So, motorcycle, it's been sitting for many years, overgrown, as a kind of a shrine to the owner of the motorcycle who passed some years ago. And I just thought it was a beautiful metaphor and I hope that this video, in any little way, can be a glimpse of a memory of my brother, Austin. I love you, man, and your memory will live on. Love you, brother. So this whole video started to talk to strangers and start a dialogue about suicide. Turns out I underestimated the island and the locals, and although I've been avoiding the places that I've spent most of my time over the past 5 days here, word spreads fast and they've come to find me. So in moments of running around interviewing strangers about suicide without context of what happened today, the locals that have known me and got to know me the past 5 days have come and found me throughout the village. They've stopped their cars in the middle of the street, get out and give me a hug, give me condolences. In these moments, I am losing it. Tears have been flowing very steadily today, and I'm very grateful for these sunglasses as I walk up to strangers to interview them instead of being a blubbering mess. But this is a hard video to shoot, and it just goes to show how much more I need to shoot it. Mind if I ask you a question for YouTube? For a video?
Yeah. Okay.
May I come aboard? That's a rule you have, whoever comes on board?
Of course, something.
That's wonderful.
Something.
Thank you so much, sir.
This is the welcome.
Yeah. There's no wrong answer to this.
No way to hurry, because he will die for sure.
Yeah?
When you born, you will die. So don't hurry. What's happened? The technology control the human beings.
Yeah.
This is disaster.
And that's why you hide on your sailboat. Stranger were to approach you on the street.
Yes.
And tell you they were suicidal or would like to kill themselves, what would you say to them?
I said no.
You'd say no.
I said no. I try to... sorry, I don't speak very well English. I try to say there is another choice, the life. And we'll try to spend some time with him, with her. Yes, I will try. I will try.
Oh, there are some amazing humans down the beach here.
I'd say I've been there. Like, I don't talk about it, and I don't tell people because it's not something you know how to talk about. But like, I attempted to take my own life, and it was handled really poorly by a lot of people around me, and so there's a lot of things I wish people would have done in their position. So if some stranger came up to me like that, like the first thing is like, you have an entire life worth living and you never know where it's gonna take you. And when you think you've hit bottom, when you think this is the lowest, when you think you've got nothing left, you have so much more that you are so unaware of. And I'd love to be the person to help you reach that potential. I think I got a lot of blame, just like how selfish I was for having those thoughts or for attempting my own life, and that I wasn't thinking of others. And that's, in that position you aren't. You are not thinking of anyone else but yourself. You never do it in spite of someone. It's because you're hurting and you're allowed to hurt. As human beings, we're allowed to hurt, we're allowed to feel sadness, but at the same time, we're capable of healing. And there's so many tools nowadays that we can use to get there.
I think that's good, man.
Yeah,
I'm not going to top that.
There is no topping that, right? I love you guys. Thank you.
Love you too, Austin.
So there we have it, a quick interview with Counting Countries about a very sensitive topic. I thank Jordan and Chloe so much from the bottom of my heart for being there as human beings, for being there as positive creators and influencers. They really care, and they have a positive message to spread. So opening up to me about a topic that their content isn't about, it means the world. It's a tough question. There's no wrong answer.
Yeah, it's the life is beautiful. Yes, and the God give to us only one time.
Yeah.
Yeah. and we do it to live every second because it's so expensive and so beautiful. Yeah, and we do it to give love in the life. This, only this, yeah.
God is Theos, God. God is give you to just strong. You know what I mean? You gotta do, can't do nothing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's, everybody cry. Yeah, you can't take it back.
There is not a right or wrong answer.
There is not.
Depends on the situation. If you know, in any condition a man is, I think he has a right to decide about himself, about his life. If he doesn't like to live in this world, who am I to tell him he's wrong?
Beautiful.
That's all. I don't know what else to say.
No, that's beautiful. Thank you very much. What would you say to that?
Do whatever you like. Yeah.
That's everything.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
And tell you they wanted to commit suicide. They didn't want to live anymore. What would you say to that person?
Just love.
So, how old are you? We'll start simple. We'll start easy questions.
7.
You're 7 years old. If somebody was really sad, what would you say to them?
May I translate?
Of course.
Okay. Αν κάποιος ήταν πολύ στενοχωρημένος, τι θα του έλεγες?
Hi.
Hi? That's beautiful. You'd say hello to them?
Yes.
And you'd start a conversation. You want to be their friend, right?
Yes.
That's amazing. You're a cool kid. You're a cool dude. Look at the way he hooks the feet. Your head's not even touching the ground. How'd you manage that?
I don't know.
Ninja. You sexy beast. Boom. Any words?
I'd like to thank Obama and the Queen.
Love you, brother.